point that we are. First off was the removal of fuel subsidy the moment the president mounted the rostrum to address Nigerians. He removed subsidy, and the attendant effect started immediately because the petroleum marketers, NNPC to be precise, updated the petroleum price immediately. And that's one. The floating of the naira and foreign exchange had economists believed that market forces should have determined how the naira fared with foreign currency. But we were forced because we wanted to break the hands of the parallel market and then float the naira, and break the hands of banks and parallel market, float the naira and see how it does. It seemed to have backfired. And the CBN is telling us, be patient. Does the CBN have the control of how the economy will be revamped?
The CBN has control over how the economy can be revamped. The CBN is the head of the highest bank in Nigeria. Is the highest bank in the country, and that is where monetary policies are supposed to be handled. But do you know one mistake we made? Is to make Cardoso the CBN governor. He's not an economist. He's a public administrator. He
was a banker.
It doesn't make. If you go to the banks, so they have even more people in the medicals in the banks. Because a lot of people that didn't study anything about banking, they are working in the banks because the bank believe they can train you and use you. Again, in those days, banks don't pay well. So anytime you see opportunity in the bank, just go there to build your CV and then you come out. So the person we have as the head of our central bank doesn't understand macroeconomic policies. So he doesn't deserve to be there, even if he has been a banker. Now, he has been put there now. In fact, he doesn't have control over what is happening. I believe
he was the former, is it commissioner? Yes, for economic planning and budget of Lagos State.
Exactly. But what we are looking at is what you spent years in the university studying.
Okay.
At that level, we shouldn't put a round peg in a square hole. You must put a square peg or a round peg in a round hole. At that level, you
feel that this was done out of political compensation?
Exactly. And the president wanted to build his men, people he has used before around him.
People he trusts.
At his age, he has lost touch with some things that are happening across the country. And knowing fully well what transpired during the election, we know quite well that if you check the voting pattern, you see that the people that never voted for Tinubu are more than those who voted for him. If you put the vote of Atiku,
I don't know about that.
It's possible. No, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Put the vote of Atiku Abubakar and that of Peter Obi together, you will see that it's more than the vote that Mr. President used to get to office.
Of course.
If that is the case, he knew quite well that he has to be careful in his appointment. So he doesn't put people that will fight against him when he gets to office. That is why if you check almost everybody that surrounds Mr. President are those he worked with while he was governor of Lagos State. The Inspector General of Police, just check them. They are his men. Even the Chief of Army Staff. They are those who work with him. So Mr. President surrounded himself with these persons, even those who are not fully or properly qualified for those positions. That's why you have what we are doing today. What happened to Mr. President on May 29, 2023, while he was being sworn in, when he said subsidy is gone? It's like when you put cattle or cow in a truck, you are taking them to London. They are happy they are traveling to London to go. They don't know they are going to use them for corned beef. That is what happened. Mr. President has regretted making that statement today. In fact, even minutes after he made that statement, he regretted. Look at what is happening in the country today. The country is down. In fact, the country is like quote and unquote gone as we speak. Nothing is working, and there is no hope that something is going to work.
A few things are working.
A few are working. A few are working.
More than a few working.
Not more than a few.
My estimation.
Not more than a few.
My
your estimation. If you want to know whether it is working or not, discuss with your finance department here. You know how much they are spending on diesel to make sure that we can speak to the people free of charge like we are doing. So the whole system is now skewed. So Mr. President must sit up, bring in people that will help him to drive these processes. The National Economic Council, headed by Mr. Vice President, must do all they can to bring together policies and measures that will help the country to revive. Mr. President should not shy away from bringing in people that can give him ideas. No idea is a waste at this point in time. Anybody that has a viable idea. Now, Jimo Ibrahim also was on TV one day telling them that he has a way of solving Nigeria problem, especially in the area of the trillions of naira Nigeria is owing as debt. He mentioned few things that they needed to do, and that if they want, you should come and see him. And they have refused to see him because there is no news that he has been met. These are people you call to the table, put together your economic team from those who know these things, and they help you to be able to do it. No man is an island when it has to do with knowledge. So Mr. President at this point in time should know quite well that a lot of things are not going well. Even his wife has come forward to say, be patient with my husband. How long will Nigerians continue to be patient when the stomach is asking for food? So I think that whatever Mr. President is doing, he should know quite well that he said our hope was going to be renewed. That is his mantra. And I don't know right now whether our hope is being properly renewed. So he needs to work on that statement to make sure that we have that renewed hope. I believe that he was going to do well. But what I'm saying so far is like contrary to what I thought was going to happen. Because the moment he has been elected, there is nothing anybody can do. He has been confirmed by Supreme Court. All we need to do is to give him our support. At best,
a lot of doubters came after you.
Exactly. A lot of that came. I told them that at best, it will come on stream by first quarter 2024. First quarter will end by next month. And as we speak, we've not seen any tangible production coming from
they
it. said
they were going to run test run.
Exactly. You've not done those things. You are coming forward to tell us that the flame is up. I told them it will not work. I am from Ogoni. The refinery is on my land. I must say so. And I know what they are doing. I know how government make their comment. They are always in a hurry to do things. The same thing applies to the Dangote refinery because it was started under the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. They wanted him to commission before he leaves office, and it's getting to about a year now. This is when they are starting production, test run production. So I think we need to sit down and plan ourselves. Leave politics out of governance. I keep telling people, leave politics out of governance. Today, a lot of people know me to be an environmentalist. That is what a lot of people know me to be. Unknowingly to them that I don't have even one certificate in environment, except other training I have. All my 4 degrees are in political science and international relations. So, but I have spent time to read and follow up on my job. And I'm doing better than even those who have degrees in environmental issues. Except when we go on technical areas that I may not be able to rule. So what I'm saying here is that when you are doing something, you devote your time and resources to that thing. And you'll be able to do it well. A lot of people that are even broadcasters today, many stations across the country, across the world, they didn't even study mass communication.
True.
Training on the job, you can say training on the job, you master your job and you are able to do it well. But when it has to do with governance, especially at the presidency and other critical positions like the CBN, you don't go there and learn on the job. You don't go there and learn on the job. But what we currently have there now is like the CBN governor trying to learn on the job by trying to look at macroeconomic indices to drive the country. And I think he needs to quickly arm himself with people that will help him to drive these processes. Otherwise, we are losing grip. You can imagine, as I yesterday, a dollar to naira was 1,910 naira. That is to say, between now and next week, we are going to hit 2,000 naira per dollar. And before the end of April, we are going to go 2,500 or even 3,000 naira per dollar, because there is no preparation, there is no plan in place to reverse the current trend. How can you reverse the current trend if you are producing locally and making sure that you discourage people from spending their money outside but spend it inside the country? Now, Falana also advised them that they should sell our crude oil in naira so that people can begin to rush the naira.
Yes.
That will even help to revive our currency. Nobody listens to anything that anybody says. They are just driving it on their own.
Again, is that what it is? Do we have the staying power, the winning power to get countries to buy in our naira? Does the naira have that clout?
It's a process. You have to initiate the process. You want to buy something from me. When you walk to the market, you ask me, how much is this in? I will tell you how much I want to sell it. And I will tell you...
If you compel me beyond measures that I can't take, I buy from other people.
You can. Initially, there will be a rollback. Initially, then it will balance back. Because remember, there is one statement that these artisanal refineries do say, that if they stop production in Nigeria, we run into energy crisis. And the time that we have the crackdown from Army more, from Tantita more, and the production reduced. It has not ended. They are still producing, but it has reduced. That reduction caused the current crisis we are also in. So if Nigeria withdraws entirely from the international market, just to make sure that people buy in naira, it will only go down initially when they are struggling to have the naira. By the time they have the naira, after all the naira is done, they will start rushing the naira, and the naira will begin to gain to come and pay Nigeria. Before you know, a lot of things will stabilize.
Okay, but if the refinery comes on